I still can't believe it. They have unbanned Mind's Desire in Legacy, and today we're going to play the card in the Epic Storm. Let's go check out that deck list. Mind's Desire has fundamentally changed the outlook of Storm and Legacy, and I'm so excited about that. Today we're playing it in the Epic Storm, and well, it also forces you to change your deck, so that's what we're doing. So if you're unfamiliar with this card, for 4 blue, you get a sorcery, you shuffle your deck, and then exile the top card of your deck. You may play this spell without paying its mana cost, Storm, so it copies itself. And well, why does it require, changing your deck? It's a card that rewards you for casting it from your hand, because if you cast Infernal Tutor from Mind's Desire, they can just counter the tutor, and then your desire, the storm aspect of it isn't quite as good. So today we're playing a shift. We're going back to Wishclaw Talisman, because you can play this card on the second turn. On turn 3, play your Lion's Eye Diamonds, your Lotus Petals, etc., and then an uncounterable Mind's Desire off of the Wishclaw Talisman. You also don't have to worry about passing the turn, because odds are the cards off Mind's Desire will kill the opponent, and you will never be punished for the Wishclaw Talisman, which is just beautiful. So that's what we're doing, and we're going back to Chrome Mox over Urza's Bauble, because this helps make mana to accelerate into the Mind's Desire, but also Brainstorm Imprints for blue, which is a big choke point of hardcasting this card. Pretty excited about these changes. Otherwise, this deck list is pretty stock. We're also playing a copy in the sideboard over the 4th Thoughtseize. Without any further ado, I would like to hop on into match number 1. I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, early access to videos, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, such as theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the play. So we have turn 1 Wishclaw Talisman. I think I'm down to keep this. So I had some audio issues in my last 2 videos that I recorded. I mean, I'm likely going to release these out of order, but the Pauper Oops All Spells video, or One Land Spy, whatever you'd like to call it, I noticed after recording that I had some words cutting off at the end. Last time I had this issue, it was my microphone cord dying, so I've bought a new one. I've also reset all of my OBS settings to have new filters on them, so hopefully there's no words that are cut off as I'm talking or stop saying words, etc. If you do hear them, let me know. I'll try to adjust some more settings, but hopefully it's been fixed. Alright, so they've mulliganed to 5. We will keep this. I'm actually going to fire off the Bauble immediately, so I can try to get some information on what they're playing. Emrakul. Well, that's scary. Okay, we will fetch. Grab Badlands. Play Chrome Mox. We will imprint Brainstorm. And I think I just want to play the Wishclaw. Pass the turn. Opponent has 5 cards in hand, and they're playing Emrakul. The Burning Wish in hand, after we've drawn the Misty Rainforest, gives us a turn 2 Thoughtseize. Sandstone Needle, they're likely not playing blue, they're probably mono red. So I could Echo of Aeons here, but I don't think that's the best call. I am going to grab Underground Sea, and then we're going to Burning Wish for Thoughtseize. Yes. Grab the Thoughtseize. This will bring us down to 16 life. I have no idea what this does. Sakashima's Protege, Flash, Cascade. Oh, they're on the Mississippi River deck, the Creative Technique deck. So we will take the Sakashima's Protege, leaving them with Emrakul. And then I think we want to play out the Bauble. This deck is actually in my recording queue. I haven't been able to rent Creative Techniques yet, so I haven't recorded it because they're 80 tickets and nobody has them, but it will be on the channel soon. Dark Ritual. Okay, so any card that imprints to Chrome Mox or any mana next turn gives us Ad Nauseam. You might be saying, but Bryant, this is the Mind's Desire video. You should still cast the thing that allows you to win the game. Here, Wishclaw Talisman was one of the few cards that didn't allow us to win the game, so that's unfortunate. We will play the Wishclaw and just pass the turn. So we need to live here. Our opponent has one unknown draw to kill us. Hickory Woodlot. It looks like they missed. Alright, so we've drawn Rite of Flame. We will cast that. Dark Ritual. And we're just going to put Ad Nauseam on the stack. Storm 3. They're doing something here. They're going to Otawara our other Wishclaw. That's fine. Ad Nauseam. Lion's Eye Diamond. Wishclaw, Chrome Mox, Lotus Petal, Volcanic Island. So we're essentially going back to the Echo of Aeons days where we have a 6 in our deck and we need to be cognizant of that. We just don't want to flip at 6 life and die for no reason. And this has been a beautiful Ad Nauseam. We'll stop at 2. And who knows, maybe we'll even Desire for the fun of it. Our opponent in chat is very excited for Mind's Desire. I told them please don't concede so we can cast it. They are all in. They said they also want to see it cast. So game 1, match 1, we are casting Mind's Desire. I mean, we already have the win here, but why not exile the rest of our deck, right? Mox Opal. Chrome Mox will imprint Brainstorm for the second blue. Chrome Mox again. We'll imprint Veil of Summer. I guess we can cast a Rite of Flame. Wishclaw Talisman. Wishclaw Talisman. Mind's Desire for 16. So a little bit over half of our deck. And we'll be able to play all of these cards absolutely for free. You don't have to pay their mana values. Sweet. And unlike Galvanic Relay, you do get to play these cards for free, which is honestly insane. But the difference between Galvanic Relay and Mind's Desire, sorry, I'm like forgetting my words trying to click here, is that Relay is so much easier to cast against counterspell decks. Here, our opponent's not playing a counterspell deck, and our Ad Nauseam had already resolved. So, I mean, I love Mind's Desire. The card's amazing. I mean, I've owned my copies for years, hoping that they would one day be unbanned, and that day is actually here. But I still think Galvanic Relay is the card that deserves the focus. All right, let's cast. Oh, I keep on trying to pay the mana cost for Burning Wish. I don't have to. I can just cast it for free. And we'll grab the Grapeshot. We're already here. Let's just do it. Boom! Match 1, game 1. Sweet. Alright, I don't believe we need Veil of Summer in this matchup, so we'll take those out. Chain of Vapor seems... We probably want the Thoughtseizes. This seems fine. Leave one Thoughtseize in the sideboard for Burning Wish, and then we'll bring in 2 Chain of Vapors. They imprint for blue. If they happen to have anything that stops us, it gives us a back door. I think it's going to be fine. Game number 2, we're on the draw. Wishclaw Talisman off the top wins. Burning Wish would be a good draw, but we would need Metalcrafter or a land. I think I'm going to keep this. It's a little bit sketchy, but our opponent's playing a deck that doesn't really win until turn 3. So we have a couple draw steps. Sulfur Vent. I own Japanese foils from early days of Cycle Storm. We found our blue source. I'm going to play the Verdant Catacombs and pass. I'm going to wait to Brainstorm. I'm going to take one more draw step, so that way if I draw Artifact, I could have the perfect Brainstorm off of Mox Opal. Basically, I want to increase my likelihood that I win this game. And we just drew the perfect card anyway, and now we will attempt to win the game. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Mox Opal. Wishclaw Talisman. Let's Brainstorm. Burning Wish is a good one. So, how about this? We'll hedge our bets a little bit. I want to cast Desire. That's what I'm here to do today. So we're going to Desire out of the sideboard. Grab our Badlands. Rite of Flame. Hold Control. We're casting Burning Wish and we'll sacrifice for blue. This is going to be a Mind's Desire for 9 with a Wishclaw Talisman on the battlefield to ensure that we don't fizzle, because we already have the action. So here, we need mana to win. Or if we hit more payoffs like Wishclaw, we just go get mana, so everything works. And we flipped Ad Nauseam. Okay, I like it. I like it a bit. Sweet. Bobble. Why only have one when you could have both? Right? It's just like the American way or something. Let's cast Ad Nauseam. Flip! And we flip the other Desire. Not a lot of mana in this pile. Chromox. We'll stop there. Alright. Lotus Petal. Play the Chromox. We'll imprint a Brainstorm. We might Desire again. Why not? Imprint this Relay. Rite of Flame. Blue. And then we want another blue over here. I could Chain of Vapor trick too, which is what Jordan would do. Jordan loves Chain of Vapor. Like, any reason to possibly cast Chain of Vapor, Jordan will find it. Mine's Desire. I love it. I feel like I'm just like playing with my food a little bit. That said, our opponent's playing a deck that has no interaction, so take this with a grain of salt. Okay. What to do. I guess we'll just cast Burning Wish. Yes. Grab a Grapeshot. Play a Mox Opal. Oh, do not cast Galvanic Relay. Rite of Flame. Let's attempt a Grapeshot for 22. Our opponent says, Mind's Desire is too OP. Epic things, I agree with you. Hopefully you end up seeing this because you were a great opponent. Thank you for letting me do the Desire thing. I really appreciate it. Sweet. We are 1-0, and we're on to match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw against Tony Scaponi, who is also likely playing Mind's Desire tonight. I mean, it's the first day that it's legal to play. It's Monday, the day of the announcement, and I have to imagine a fellow Storm aficionado is playing Mind's Desire, so we'll see what happens. Turn 1, Scalding Tarn. What? Tony, what are you doing? Oh, wow. Tony. I feel like you've betrayed the Storm community, and everybody will see this, that you are not playing Mind's Desire. Instead, you're playing Monastery Swiftspear. What a traitor. Alright, Chromox will imprint the Veil of Summer. The downside here is that I probably lose to an Eidolon of the Great Revel out of Tony's hand. Our deck only has a sideboard Grapeshot to deal with it. Grab Underground Sea. Wishclaw. Pass the turn. On our end step, Tony activates the Bauble. Let's see what Tony's drawing off this. So we will activate our own copy of Mishra's Bauble. Goblin Guide. So they draw that. And now we can activate our other Bauble, see their draw step. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, so I'm going to guess that Tony doesn't have main deck Eidolon of the Great Revel. That is my hunch here. Tony plays and activates a Bloodstained Mire. Goblin Guide. Lava Spike. Alright, so we go to 14, then an attack for 4. We will go to 10. So this is going to shut off Ad Nauseam. So in this particular spot, we do have the main deck Mind's Desire as an option. Veil of Summer, not an ideal draw. Dark Ritual. So these cards do not cast the main deck Mind's Desire, but I can Ad Nauseam. So we're going to Ad Nauseam from 10 against Burn and hope that Tony doesn't have Fire Blast. Okay, Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Okay, activate Storm is 3. It just has to be Ad Nauseam. Okay, Storm 4, 2 mana floating. Burning Wish. No! Ah, we're dead. Unless we flip like double Lion's Eye Diamond here. Wow. Alright. I put Chromoxes in the deck to help with our Ad Nauseam when we had Mind's Desire. Did not work. Tony's burn spells got us. Alright, so let's take out these Veil Summers. They're a little stinky here. And then we'll bring in Abrupt Decays and Chain of Vapors. I think that's the only change we want to make. Game number 2, we're on the play this time. Let's try to eke out a win. So we have all mana and Chain of Vapor, no payoffs. We'll take a mulligan. This is worse. Yikes, we'll go to 5. This is good. Keep. Bottom these 2. Okay, so we're going to play a turn 1 land, Lion's Eye Diamond. And then we have turn 2 Ad Nauseam with no mana floating. And it might not seem obvious, but I'm playing out the diamonds for a reason. Burn might be a deck that plays Mindbreak Trap in the board. And if I play the way that I want to, I'm going to take some damage off my lands, but I will not have 3 spells into the Mindbreak Trap. And then maybe I can win with a Desire or something else. Well, they might Mindbreak Trap Mind's Desire, but you get the idea. I can play spells before... I'm going to quit talking. You know what I mean. I can Thoughtseize them or whatever before my payoff. Alright, so that's going to make Ad Nauseam a little bit worse, unfortunately. I'll go to 16. We'll grab Underground Sea. We'll draw for turn. Our own Bobble. I'm not going to play that. Like I said, I don't want to trigger the Mindbreak Trap. So we will play Wishclaw. Black. Black. Let's try Ad Nauseam again. Storm 2. There's a Chromox. Galvanic Relay. I'm at 7 already. This is not looking good. I'm at 4. I'm dead to Desire. I'm dead to almost anything here. This was not very good. I think I have to flip. Bobble. Yeah. Land. Bobble. Opal. So I could stop and Brainstorm here, but that doesn't actually do me much good. I have a lot of cards that kill me. I have not flipped a single Dark Ritual or Rite of Flame. A Lion's Eye Diamond off the top would win, assuming that Tony doesn't have exactly Mindbreak. I think I just have to flip. Stop at 1. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Play a Bobble. Bobble. Let's activate 1. Let's see Tony's top card. Chain Lightning. I'm 1 mana short, so I have to Brainstorm. There goes nothing. It replaced itself, but that's not good enough, so I believe we're dead. I guess I can shuffle with the Wishclaw and then try another Brainstorm. Play Opal. Dark Ritual. Trying to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So I could activate Wishclaw for... Am I close enough to win with chaining Wishclaws for LEDs into Grapeshot? I don't believe so. Because I could go get... Yeah, it doesn't work. I'm short. Alright, so we need to shuffle here. Okay, so... I can get Lion's Eye Diamond. And that means that Brainstorm would have to hit like Rite of Flame plus Lotus Petal, or Rite of Flame plus Mox Opal or Chromox. And then that's a win. We don't have enough Storm for Grapeshot yet. So Brainstorm, please carry me. Storm 12. And we bricked. So we have lost the burn. Yeah, this just doesn't get the job done. Alright, well we are officially 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Alright, on the play for match 3. Let's try to bounce back after that. That was a tough match for us. 1 mana source away. This hand is so good. We have to mulligan. And another mulligan. Love to mull to 5. Okay, so this is a turn 1 Echo. I have no idea what our opponent's playing, but I'm going to disrespect them tonight. I think a lot of people are going to be trying to jam it, Mind's Desires, and well, we're on the play, so let's just change what we can. Okay, so far everything has resolved. Mox Opal. We will fetch Volcanic. Well, it's Burning Wish. Assuming that this resolves, we will grab Echo of Aeons. Sweet. Add 3 blue. Spin the wheel. It does resolve. Unfortunately, this hand just doesn't cast the Galvanic Relay. I'm going to pass. You could try to Brainstorm here. I think that's wishful thinking. Instead, I'm just going to save my resources. They play a Mishra's Bobble. They target themselves. Okay. Grixis Delver. Okay, you got it. They will draw off the Ponder here. Alright, our opponent has drawn their card off Bauble. We will play our Bloodstained Mire. Let's lead on Lotus Petal. They're thinking about it. It resolves. Let's cast Brainstorm. Here we go. We're going to put back one of these Wish Claws. Lion's Eye Diamond. Let's cast Rite of Flame. Fetch. Grab Bayou. Let's attempt a Wishclaw Talisman. That resolved. Okay, so I could take the Guaranteed Desire for 6. Or I could Brainstorm here, hoping for more mana into Desire. And I think I'm going to Brainstorm. I missed. Okay. Put back the Relay. Put back the Burning Wish. And then I'm going to Veil of Summer. We could still Relay off of the Wishclaw Talisman. I mean, if our opponent's on a combo deck, I'm dead. But I think that this is the move. I took a chance at a big swing there for the Mind's Desire, and I just missed. Please don't be a Storm deck. I mean, their name is poorly spelled Crack LED, so you never know. But the signal that I received off them was that they're actually just Grixis Delver. They played a Wasteland, so that would back my hunch. And a Delver of Secrets. Sure thing. Draw. Another Wishclaw Talisman. No mana! Wow! Alright, so we'll play the Bauble. Lotus Petal. We need this Lotus Petal to resolve. We now have Metalcraft. Rite of Flame. This will make 3. Rite of Flame makes 4. Dark Ritual. Let's rotate Wishclaw Talisman for Lion's Eye Diamond. This should be a Mind's Desire this turn. Go grab a diamond. Play it. Wishclaw Talisman. Sacrifice this for blue. We will rotate. And Mind's Desire for 9. One of the things that's happened ever since Lord of the Rings came out is that the Bowmaster decks have taken over the format. And the white prismatic ending decks have become less popular, which means that Wishclaw got a lot better. In return, Wishclaw gets storm spells. So the deck is really, taking off in this current build. I mean, our deck kind of didn't function in match 2, but here against arguably the best deck in the format, we're doing our thing. Okay, so we will cast Dark. I guess maybe I should play another Opal. Keep the new one. Play the Taiga. Dark Ritual. This Wishclaw Talisman is free. And now we can just cast the Burning Wish. Easy does it. Grab the Tendrils. Cast. From 14, take that, Grixis Delver. So we have taken game number 1. Against Delver, I'd actually like to take out the Ad Nauseam. I don't think that's a card we want to be casting. And then that can be one of our Abrupt Decay slots. I think I'm also okay with shaving down 1 copy of Chrome Mox. This is how I would recommend boarding. I don't think we're allowed to keep this even though I want to. We'll go to 6. What is up with these mulligans tonight? Come on. Alright, so bottom Abrupt Decay and Veil of Summer? Or should it just be the Dark Ritual? Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the Veil. Turn 1 Polluted Delta. Okay. Delver of Secrets. Classic opener. Looks like they're going to try to use the Bauble to flip their own Delver. We'll just pass the turn. They Bauble themselves. They stack it so that way the Delver triggers first. It flips, revealing Surgical Extraction. Okay, so we'll take 3 going to 17. Wasteland. We're going to try to sit on this Bloodstained Mire as long as possible. We could have used another land there. Instead, we draw Burning Wish. We'll just pass the turn. We'll fall to 14 life. Another Ponder. They did not shuffle. Flooded Strand. We found our land. Let's play out the Lotus Petal. And I think I'm going to attempt a Brainstorm here. I mean, if they... Okay, I was going to say if they Pyroblast this, it's unfortunate, but not a whole lot I can do about that. So I could try to Galvanic Relay here, but I don't think it's going to go great for us. I mean, I could also just take a Relay for 4, and then try to come back next turn with these. Attempt a Rite of Flame. Let's see if that resolves. Alright, Baby Relay. Relay for 4 cards. We flip Galvanic Relay, Rite of Flame, Mox Opal, Brainstorm. So the Wasteland here is actually going to hurt us quite a bit. We were hoping for more mana off that. They swing for 3, we'll fall to 10 life. We get Wastelanded. I mean, I could have kept the Taiga, but I would have guessed that in a deck full of mana, we would have found some there. Let's Brainstorm. Hope it resolves. Probably going to get dazed. They grab an Underground Sea. Spell Pierce. I'm going to concede here. We're not winning that. Mulligans to 5 are not ideal. Try it again. Game 3 versus Grixis Delver, we're on the play. Sure, this is a nice stable hand. Play the Bloodstained Mire, we'll pass the turn. Included Delta, Volcanic, and a Channeler. They surveil away a Delver of Secrets, and they bobble us. I could fetch so they don't know my top card, but I don't want to expose myself to Wasteland yet, so I'm going to allow them to know that we have a Wishclaw. Pass the turn. And I could just fetch and Abrupt Decay the Channeler immediately, but I don't think that actually helps me, and I don't know if Channeler's what really matters in this matchup. Like, I don't want to lose to a Counterbalance, which is a popular card in Delver sideboards nowadays, so I'm going to choose to hold steady. Ponder with double Surveil. Okay, so this is likely going to... And they got rid of a Wasteland. Interesting. And then they kept another card on top. So this will be Land, Artifact, Sorcery, Creature. So I want to try to slow them down here. I think I do. I wasn't planning on it, but... the second Channeler kind of changes things. I don't have any blue spells right now, so I'm going to fetch my non-blue duels. Let's kill the Channeler. Draw for turn. Lotus Petal. Play the Taiga. And let's attempt a Wishclaw. Resolves and we'll pass. They swing for 3, we'll go to 15. They play a Brainstorm. Okay. They kept a card on top. A little nervous about that. We draw Rite of Flame. Lotus Petal. I wonder if I can get to Desire this turn. I mean, I can. Assuming that they don't have a whole lot of interaction. I think I'm supposed to try to do something here. Dark Ritual. Wishclaw Talisman. We will activate the Wishclaw. Grab Lion's Eye Diamond. Play the Diamond. This is a card they likely want to fight over. Force pitching Hydroblast. So if I Veil here and it gets countered, I can't Relay. I'm going to attempt the Veil. Do you have double force? You do. Pitching Daze, wow. Okay. That is likely the game, if I had to guess. Unfortunate. I don't think I'm going to be able to come back. Like, Ad Nauseam's in their sideboard. They play another Brainstorm. So at this point, I have to build up Storm Count. It's the only way I can win. Another Bobble. And they're just getting such great card quality out of all their cantrips paired with Dragon's Rage Channeler. Veil of Summer. Woo. Pass the turn. Another Brainstorm. We have to pass. Channeler attacks us down to 9. They have 4 cards in hand. Play a Bobble. I mean, we're dead to double Bolt if they left it in. Pyroblast, so if I go for Echo, they can counter it. Draw off the Bobble. Lotus Petal, that's interesting. So we're a little bit closer to Mind's Desire now. Okay, we're at 6. Draw for turn. Another Bobble. Doesn't help us. So if they have a single Lightning Bolt in their deck, I'm dead. We just have to pass the turn. They Pyroblast to Surveil here. They milled the 3rd land. Draw my card. Burning Wish. There's a Counterbalance in their graveyard. Okay, I'm going to 3. Do you have a single bolt in your deck? You only need 1. They have 4 cards in hand. We'll take our draw. Another Bobble. Jeez Louise. Play a Lotus Petal. Let's attempt the Veil of Summer. Actually, if I Veil, I can't. That's interesting. If I Veil, I can't Mind's Desire using the Burning Wish. I end up being short. I think I have to Veil, though. It's the only way I can possibly win this. And if Veil resolves against a Bowmaster, I could Echo and Pray. Hard cast Force and Negation. Alright. Activate Wish Claw. But the storm count's not high enough to... Like, if I got Lion's Eye Diamond, it would be storm 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm one short, and that's assuming our opponent doesn't have a daze. Attempt a Veil. So they had quad force this game. Yeah, I'm just not going to beat that. Alright, so we are now 1-2. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Let's be honest, we're not doing so hot so far, but another round, another opportunity. We're on the draw here, and we have 4 mana plus a Mind's Desire. No clue what our opponent's playing, but this hand is certainly keepable. Turn 1, basic forest, green sun, zenith. They pick up a Dryad Arbor. Okay. We are now 1 mana short. I think I'm going to fire off these, at least one bobble here. Alright, so they're on elves. We draw another land, that doesn't do it for us. They play the shepherd. Wirewood Symbiote, Cradle for 3. Green sun for 2. And if they have a Collector Roof here, I'm in trouble. They have an Elvish Visionary. Okay. So, an Accelerant here could keep us in this game. If we miss, I don't know. Galvanic Relay. So, we missed on the Accelerant, and we're just going to have to Galvanic Relay at this point. 4 blue is not easy to cast. That's for sure. Tap this Opal. We'll play another Opal. Mind's Desire. Or, I'm sorry, Galvanic Relay. My bad. I have Desire on the brain. Brainstorm, Bloodstained Mire, Burning Wish, Chrome Mox, Veil of Summer. So, we've revealed another artifact. I'll use the Bauble. We have to hope to even be alive here. This Cradle taps for 4. This could be 5, 5. So they have 12 on the board currently. That is 12 damage. So they tap their Arbor for mana. They play a Forest. They pick up the Visionary. They recast it and draw a card. So they're digging here. Heritage Druid, okay. That makes quite a bit of mana. They have 3 cards in hand now. They play a Bayou. A lot of mana here. A Grist, okay. They make an Insect, and now they can tap their Cradle for 6. They attack for 1, so I'm guessing they're going to pass the turn here. And we'll have a turn to see if we can do anything meaningful. Draw a card off the Mishra's Bauble. Dark Ritual should get us to Mind's Desire. Alright, we'll start on the Chrome Mox. With the trigger on the stack, we'll cast Brainstorm. We do not want Veil of Summer, but Veil of Summer is a card we could imprint. So I think we're actually supposed to put back these 2. And now we can imprint the Veil of Summer. Play our Bloodstained Mire. Let's fetch. I mean, Desire's probably not even good here. I can... I'm 1 mana short of Ad Nauseam. I guess the line would be... Storm is 3. I could rotate Wishclaw for Diamond. And then that leaves me 1 short for Burning Wish into Desire. Am I supposed to just Desire for 4 and pray? Is that really it? So I could activate the Wishclaw, go get Dark Ritual, but then Dark Ritual doesn't cast it. I could activate Wishclaw for Rite of Flame, but Rite of Flame leaves me 1 short. Quite the conundrum. I mean, I could also Echo of Aeons here, but I'd have to use the Burning Wish and the Wishclaw. My colors are just really awkward, because normally you could Wishclaw for Dark Ritual, and then that's 6 mana, but I don't have blue, and a black. My fear is that Desire for 4 is not going to be enough, but I think it's probably my best shot, so... Mind's Desire for 4. I think Echo of Aeons actually would be better here. If this was an Echo, it actually would have been better. Alright, first card off Mind's Desire is a land. Not good. Chrome Mox is also dead here. Ad Nauseam, okay. One way to cast it, I suppose. Dark Ritual. Lucky Desire Flip. Okay. This should get the job done. Just revealing. We'll stop there. Lion's Eye Diamond. At this point, it's just casting spells. And our opponent agrees, off to game 2. I don't love Relay in this matchup, so I'm going to board down on those, bring in a couple copies of Abrupt Decay, a few Chain of Vapors, and that seems reasonable. So there's this weird tension in the matchup where Green Sun Zenith for Collector Roof is incredibly backbreaking. But if you want to bring in Thoughtseize, you have to board out Veil of Summer. But so many lists board into 4 Thoughtseize, so do you really want to be boarding out Veil? That's the question. So this hand just needs to draw into a payoff spell within 3 draws. So you get 2 draw steps and then a Bauble Scry with the fetch land. I think I'm willing to keep that. If we were to draw Burning Wish for our draw step, this hand is 1 mana short of a Mind's Desire. Turn 1 basic forest into Nettle Sentinel. Another land. Okay, so we'll play the Bauble. And I'm actually going to target myself in case I draw into Brainstorm. I definitely don't want the Chromox. So we'll fetch. Make sure to grab Underground Sea just in case I do hit that wonderful Brainstorm. Draw off the Bauble. Nope. I needed land 5. We will take 2. Elvish Reclaimer. Okay. Gaia's Cradle. Elvish Visionary. Okay. Let's see it deck. We have a bunch of wonderful draws here. Mox Opal was not one of them. Play Taiga and we'll pass the turn. They play Verdant Catacombs. So they found their Black Source. They could take my Diamond here. You might have been saying, why not play it out? Well, there's a couple reasons. The big one is Force of Vigor. If I'm being honest, that's really it. And I don't want to play into a card that I could potentially just play around throughout the course of the game. Realm Waker. Okay, that's some modern technology here. Allosaurus Shepherd. And now they're attacking for 5. I'm sorry, for 4. We will fall to 13. Mind's Desire. Close. Sort of. Not really. I'm actually just dead to the Allosaurus Shepherd. Alright, we'll concede. Game 3. I'm going to resubmit. On the play. This is a turn 2 Ad Nauseam. Suppose I'll keep that. I mean, a Thoughtseize hitting the Dark Ritual does stall me for a turn, but this is pretty good. Play Badlands, Chromox, Imprint. This plays in a Mindbreak trap, but allows me to theoretically get a card through a Force of Vigor, which I feel like is more likely than a Mindbreak trap, so I'm choosing to play around Vigor more. Basic Forest, Green Sun Zenith for 0, I'm sorry. They grab a Dryad Arbor, and now we have turn 2 Ad Nauseam. Through a Mindbreak. Could play out the Diamond. I'm not going to. Go grab the Ad Naus. Cast Ad Nauseam. Turn 2. Brainstorm, Chromox, Chain of Vapor. Looking decent so far. We have hit the Mind's Desire somewhere in here. We'll stop at 4. Play Lotus Petal. And another. Lion's Eye Diamond. Chromox will imprint Brainstorm. Play out a few more artifacts. Chain of Vapor, I guess we should play a land. Search with the Bloodstained Mire. Grab Underground Sea. Tap for a black. Chain of Vapor the Opal. Sacrifice the land, we'll copy, bounce the Chromox. Sacrifice the Badlands, bounce Chromox. Play an Opal. Dark Ritual. Rite of Flame. Chromox. Imprint Brainstorm. Chromox will imprint the Veil of Summer. Tap for a green. Blue. Mind's Desire. So if they had a Mindbreak here, they could cast it and exile all of our spells. But I don't think, like, we would just put Tendrils on the stack and they'd be dead. So just giving ourselves a backdoor here. And our opponent concedes. We are now 2-2, 1 match left to go. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final match, we are on the play against Magic Dads, who almost exclusively plays Tin Fins decks. Here we have double Veil of Summer, Our land isn't a green land, but I think I'm going to keep this anyway. Veil is just so good against them. Okay. So we're going to play Underground Sea, Mishra's Bauble, Lotus Petal, pass the turn. So Lotus Petal... I mean, I sequenced it in a different order, but you know what I mean. Play the Bauble and pass. And their upkeep will target them. Badlands. They play Verdant Catacombs instead. Grabbing a different Badlands. Faithless Looting, you've got it. Discards Atraxa and Archon of Cruelty. Lotus Petal. And it looks like they're passing the turn here. We'll draw off the Bauble, and then we get a draw step. So any green land would give us Veil of Summer without losing resources. But that doesn't happen. We will pass the turn. They play the Badlands, and now they have 5 unknown cards. They cast Thoughtseize targeting us. Well, let's Veil of Summer. We draw another diamond. Okay, well, we need a payoff spell. And they then play Exhume. Okay. I feel like Exhume's fallen out of favor. But, interesting. I should fact check that statement. Maybe I just haven't seen an Exhume in a while. But usually it's a lot of reanimates and a lot of animate deads. But maybe Exhume is in the list and I just haven't been playing much Legacy. So I'm going to fact check that right now. Bring up a reanimator deck list. Yeah, Exhume is in there. So I am wrong. It happens a lot. Get used to it. And now we'll draw. Ding dong. Okay, so we will cast Rite of Flame. And unfortunately, for all of you wanting to watch Mind's Desire, this is not a Mind's Desire here. This is a Peer into the Abyss. So we will add some mana. I mean, there might be a Mind's Desire later, but right now we're casting Peer into the Abyss. Target us. Sweet. Now it's just casting spells. Imprint a Galvanic Relay. Cast Rite of Flame. Lion's Eye Diamond. Play a Lotus Petal. Fisher's Bauble. Let's cast a Brainstorm. Put back a couple lands. Guess we'll play the Badlands. And then off that we can cast the Dark Ritual. Fisher's Bauble. Lotus Petal. Lion's Eye Diamond. Chrome Mox. Imprint Brainstorm. Wishclaw Talisman. Activate the Wishclaw. Alright, I was going to Desire, but they just didn't want me to, I guess. Game number 1 versus Reanimator. I like boarding down on relays in this matchup and bringing in chains. Thoughtseize is also fairly good. Maybe I'll board out all the relays. So 3 Thoughtseize, 3 Veil of Summer, and 1 Chain of Vapor. Let's try this. Opponent mulligans. I think I'll keep this, but it's very sketchy. Now they're on 5 cards. And then they quickly go to 4. Okay. What did you keep? Badlands into Faithless Looting. So I don't have to worry about my Thoughtseize drawing them into a reanimation. Or discarding a creature, I should say. And the opponent just concedes. Alright, so we went 3-2. Not the best record in the world. We'll come back to this deck list in a second. In this video today we played, where is it? This. And ultimately I thought it was fine, but Mind's Desire was really bad with Ad Nauseam. I mean, it happened to us twice where we flipped it and it kind of cost us the game. And on top of that, I thought that Wishclaw Talisman was super clunky. So my idea that I've had floating in, I've been thinking of this even before Mind's Desire was printed. I was like, maybe we should go back to Wishclaw. I've been talking about this with the TES team. And I was like, there's a lot of Bowmasters, not a lot of endings right now. But I played Wishclaw versus the Bowmaster deck that runs Daze, Spell Pierce, etc. It felt so clunky that I was kind of wishing that I was just on Infernal Tutor. I was always like 1 mana short the entire time. And the difference was that Wishclaw Talisman was just kind of expensive. 3 mana for a tutor was a lot. So between Desire not being great off of the Ad Naus, and another thing is, back when this used to be an Echo of Aeons, a lot of the time Echo would remove itself from the deck because you would mulligan aggressively, you would Wishclaw for it, and then you would Echo to undo your mulligan, and then the 6-drop wouldn't be in your deck when you cast Ad Nauseam. That's not the case with Desire. So ultimately, also we added in 3 Chrome Mox to make the Ad Nauseams better, and I didn't feel like it actually did that. Like, our Ad Nauseams this league were pretty terrible. So if that's going to be the case, I would rather play something like this that just maximizes relay still, and then has Desire out of the sideboard as an option. Yes, you don't get the uncounterable aspect of Mind's Desire, but you do get a tool that helps you beat Orcish Bowmaster. And I think that's ultimately what we want out of this slot. So probably just cutting the 4th sideboard Thoughtseize, which isn't as relevant nowadays anyway. When we added in the 4th Thoughtseize, Cephalid Breakfast and Doomsday were everywhere, and now they've died down significantly. So I think I want to return to something that looks like this, and just happen to play Mind's Desire as a tool rather than focusing on the card in the Epic Storm. That said, this is one take on Mind's Desire. There's so many different ways that you could build around this card. So, upcoming on the channel, I know that Jordan's interested in streaming High Tide with Mind's Desire in it. I'm already planning on a Mizzix Mastery build that, if you're unfamiliar, the old extended deck used to play Sins of the Past in Mind's Desire. You would play 4 Desire, 4 Sins of the Past. Sins of the Past would get back Desire. You would loop them a bunch, that sort of thing. Mizzix Mastery does that more efficiently in the modern era. So, I'm going to have a build that's more Desire focused on that coming up, and then I'll probably play High Tide Desire myself at some point in the upcoming weeks. That said, I have a queue of donation decks I have to get through, so bear with me. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it, and if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. I would greatly appreciate that. Have a great day, and as always, keep storming. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. If you're looking for more sweet combo content, we have tons of it over at theepicstorm.com, where you can find matchup guides, play-by-play, and storm puzzles featuring a monthly combo expert. You're going to love what we have over there.